Let me ask you this question. For the past 5 years, ever since Wano Country started in the anime in 2019, what were your top 10 favorite attacks in terms of animation, style points? What were your top 10 favorite attacks? Comment in the box below, because I did a video a few days ago talking about Gulp Chujo and the Galaxy Impact. I did. Woo! When I watched that first time, if you don't know, on Patreon for my reactions first and foremost. But when I saw it the first time, Ric Flair style, woo! That was incredible. I did a video on that attack over here, boom, check it out, on the Garp Galaxy Impact. But in that video, I state that, in my personal opinion, this attack, even though there are those that say, well, you have to like maintain Oda's vision and so on and so forth, I would still argue that this attack, in terms of the style points, aesthetically, it is one of the coolest attacks I've seen in One Piece. And I thought about it. Wano Country, Egghead Island, has a slew of epic attacks and moments. And okay, I thought even harder. What are my top 10 favorite attacks in terms of animation and style points in One Piece, at least the past 5 years, when Toei really started to take things up a few notches off the gate, when Zoro destroyed the rooftop of this building with a seppuku blade, and from then on fights all these samurais, and then does a crazy Tatsumaki tornado. So from then up until where we are now with the Garp Galaxy Impact, what are my top 10 favorite moves? So before we get into this, because this is gonna be spicy, but before we get into this, I need to give a brief word for today's sponsor. This video is brought to you by Surfshark VPN. Phishing attempts, cyber attacks, all the nasty hoo-ha malware and viruses that are out there in the World Wide Web. You need protection in your day-to-day life. Make sure that when you venture to these insane spots on the web, you are secure. And I know, my anime manga faithful, we go to some crazy, gnarly spots on the web. To each their own, but you do need a shield when you venture off into these dangerous parts of the woods. And let Surfshark VPN be that shield. Not only does it have anti-malware, antivirus features, but also it does have IP changing functionalities wherein which wherever you are, no one will know who you are. So Surfshark VPN can clean all that nasty stuff that is gonna try and harm your device, and it doesn't matter which device it is. Whether it's Windows, whether it's Macintosh or Linux, whether it's on your desktop, laptop, phone, iPad, you name it, Surfshark VPN has you covered on all your devices, and it's available in so many different countries across the entire world. And one of the things I do absolutely hate is region gating. And I love how Surfshark VPN can circumnavigate region gating with the region change feature. So there are certain shows, animes, movies that I want to check out that, let's say normally I can't on Netflix or on Hulu, you name it. Well, I can easily change my region, and then voila, I can gain access to that material, to those shows that normally I couldn't gain access to. So if you like what you hear, and you absolutely should, then check out Surfshark VPN, link in the box below, or scan this QR code right here. You use code KOL, that is KOL, to get an exclusive deal and 4 months free. Once again, use code KOL, QR code, or link in the box below to get that deal. So, lads and ladies, on that note, let us get back to the video content at hand.
Later.
So here are my top 10 best animated attacks in One Piece over the last 5 years. The things that made me go, oh, and nani? Yeah, here we go. So number 10, in episode 934, Zoro's Purgatory Onigiri versus Killer, at that point in time, Kamazo. Animated by Katsumi Ishizuka. This was incredible. This was honest to God incredible, because not only does Zoro get stabbed in the shoulder, and then he just keeps that in his shoulder with the pure muscles, the pectorals of Zoro were otherworldly. The entire fight against Killer, Kamazo at the time, he didn't have 3 swords. And now he finally gets his quote-unquote 3rd sword with that scythe. And then the aura, the purple aura of Zoro was epic as all hell. And what I really liked about Killer compared to the manga version of this fight is that in the anime, Killer doesn't just sit there and do nothing. Killer actually tries to stop Zoro. So Killer does these sort of red Frieza style Destructo disc at Zoro, and then we see the cube effects, but then Zoro plows through that. And I love the contrast of the purple aura of Zoro and the snowy white area in background. It was so cool. And when Zoro's charging in there, what I also liked a lot was Killer's attempt to try and match Zoro. Killer literally cocks back and then tries to sickle attack Zoro while Zoro's charging like a madman. And the finale, that cut, that clean follow-through cut, and then Killer, the blood, and then the cubes everywhere, the music on point, the aura on Zoro's swords, purple, oh, it was great. Out of all the attacks over the past 5 years I've seen from Zoro, that is probably the one I rewatched the most, because I thought it was just so damn dope seeing Killer try to match after Zoro had literally gotten stabbed through his shoulder before he passes out. He's like, before I go out, here, I'm gonna show you my real abilities, 3 sword style with a sickle. Now an actual sword, a sickle. Oh, it's so cool. So that is at number 10, Zoro Purgatory Onigiri versus Killer, episode 934. Now number 9 is gonna be episode 1017, Luffy's Kong Gatling versus Kaido, also animated by Katsumi Ishizuka. Big Mom's lightning wasn't working on Luffy. And Luffy and Bowman, whenever he's jumping and bumping, he has that sort of hydraulic sound effect. We have these stroke returns of the bolts hitting Luffy, but no mas. Big Mom, Moogie, what up? What's going on? Why aren't you hurt? Made out of rubber. What? And then Luffy starts that gather energy to attack. And then Kaido cuts him off, blast breath. And it's a really damn good blast breath. Unironically, that blast breath to Luffy is one of the better animated blast breaths of the entire arc of Wano Country, for sure. But man, Luffy tanks that. Oh, not even fire? Guts, baby, guts! And then Luffy beeline charges in there. And the aura he has around him is, he looks like a red comet cutting through the sky. And then what I love is that before he lays the haymakers, he has that Kong, and then you see that stance where you see his back, you see his hands in this motion right here, and he lays off this insane volley for the rest of the episode. He doesn't stop, even when we have the to be continued scream, and you see the fist indentations on the background. Yes, yes, sir. That right there is epic as all hell. Undeniably. Over the past 5 years, it's my favorite sort of Gatling barrage attack that Luffy has done. I think that one's so cool. And it's on occasion seeing those sparks of red lightning. And also too, in that scene, Kaido looks massive, no diddy. But Kaido in that dragon form, he looks titanic, almost like a Shenron snake wave sort of size. He looks huge. And it makes it all the more impressive when Luffy is laying these haymakers for the rest of the episode. So once again, that is my number 9 scene over the past 5 years in One Piece. Once again, animated by Katsumi Shizuka, episode 1017, Luffy's Kong Gatling versus Kaido. Number 8 is going to be episode 1061, Sanji Piece, Sanji's E-Free combo versus Queen, animated by Akihiro Ota. Over the past, I would say 2 years, I have been really swayed by Ota style animation, and I think he's one of my favorites, if not in my top 3 in terms of animation style for One Piece. At first, in Wano Country, I thought it was weird, like Frankie and Sasaki, what's going on here? But it has grown on me so much to the point where that style is just, to me, it can't be anything less but gold. When you have this animation style in combination with the smoothest fighting style in all of One Piece, Sanji's black leg martial arts Kempo, you can't go wrong. And man, this was incredible. First things first, the lead up to it, with Sanji finding out the truth, him coming in there with that blue hue comet energy, kicking Queen, grabbing the mouse Chuji. Osom, stay back. I got this, now it's time. And Queen has this standing up, Vim Smoku. Bro. The Queen standing up animation alone, gas, was immaculate. Then here comes the hair attack, and he's doing the cartwheels on the hair. Oh, It was beautiful. That one motion when Sanji goes underneath the hair, that's the skywalk to get back onto the platform of the Sonic stage and his queen's hair. Love it. The actual haymaker, Sanji's intensity when it starts hitting him. There's that one moment where Queen goes for a right cross, and then Sanji, he actually blips skywalks from Queen's arm from this side to that side, hits him right over here, arm has to go back, and he's doing like damage to himself. I'm like, yeah, yes, yeah. It's the little things. It's the little things that sometimes go the longest distance. And the entire combo is just some of the nastiest work, nastiest footwork I have seen in One Piece. And in Ota style, it's just elevated to a whole new level. It's outstanding. Especially the finish after Queen just gets set packing. That blue hue around him, it's epic as all hell. So once again, my number 8 is going to be episode 1061, Sanji's combo on Queen Ifrit, animated by Akihiro Ota. Now for my number 7. Man, I watch this clip all the damn time. I even tweeted out the clip a few days ago. I watch it too often to not put it in my top 10 best animated scenes in One Piece over the past 5 years. It is, I think, possibly the apex of this man's career in One Piece in terms of animation. And this is episode 1064 of One Piece. Drunk Kaido lightning hammered Ragnaroku onto Luffy, animated by the GOAT, Naotoshi Shida. Bro, I'm feeling good.
Keeping easy.
Woo! One of the things that makes this so phenomenal, in my personal opinion, is the voice acting. So the voice actor, Genda Tesho, is, at this point in time, stepping away from voice acting because they're not feeling well. Which, of course, I wish him the best. But I love Kaido's VA. I think he does a great with Kaido. And that whole sequence right there, I think is some of the best content I've heard from Kaido. And also, I've seen animated by Naotoshi Shida. So again, I do wish Tesho the best in his health, number 1. Number 2 is that I think that when it comes to transformations, Naotoshi Shida is one of the best to ever do it. Like, literally to ever do it. That's why he did Gear 4 Bowman's first transformation. He did Gear 4 Snake Man's first transformation. He did Sanji's raid suit transformation. He did Marco's transformation, the iconic one in Marineford. He did Queen's first hybrid transformation. Do you get the point here? Like, this man is known for doing very damn good and fluid transformations. And Kaido's transformation into that drunk berserker form with the purple, it's so good. And then the whole process of Kaido taking his club, spinning it around, and then he has that sort of stance where he hit the home run when he lays on the triple piece frame of that Ragnarok. Various multicolored lightning bolts. You have the purple ones, the yellow ones, and the blue ones. No. And then at the end of all, Kaido in that glowing purple. It's perfect. It is, I think, the magnum opus of Naotoshi Shida. Again, I rewatched that scene too many times for that scene to not be on my top 10. And there it is at number 7. Now, number 6 of the top 10 best animated scenes over the past 5 years, style points. This is high style points right here. It's episode 1049, Snake Man Luffy and Yamato combo on Kaido, also animated by Akihiro Ota. Luffy sees Kaido after getting blasted off the island, and it was on site. Snake Man on site! I'm taking him out now. Divine Swiftness was dope. Yamato becoming the white snake. Meanwhile, you have Momonosuke. Oh my god, land! Finally, freaking out. In that, Luffy, Snake Man form, he leaves Momonosuke, and he's synchronizing dive bombing as Yamato converges with that attack too. So Luffy's jet Calverin that goes from where he is in the sky all the way to the ground level, matching up with Yamato's white serpent attack, that whole process is outstanding. So when Yamato's attack and Luffy's attack, when they start the combo, bro, it's incredible. And the impact on Kaido, That was a finisher. That should have absolutely, positively have taken out Kaido. Lead up to it is excellent. The actual combo is dope as all hell. And the finisher, like the impact area of where Kaido is at is almost like coning out. And the contrast and the hues in that area look completely different. But then they look normal on Kaido's backside and that whole section. It's nah. Bro. Bro. Again, Ultra Style, I think, is like top 3 worthy in my book right now for One Piece animations. I'm not saying that other cats are bad. No, of course not. Everyone has their own preference, obviously. And then as time has gone on, I see myself gravitating more and more and more towards Akihiro Ota's style. This, I think, was one of the best things he's ever done in terms of attack. Now, to be fair, I argue that Luffy's heartbeat, like when he's, when he restarts that funky heartbeat against Kaido, and then you have the ayahuasca trip and the dun 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 dun. Oh yeah. But that's not an attack. This is an attack, and it's one hell of an attack on Kaido. That, rightfully so, should have ended Kaido. It really should have, but over the top! That is the name of the game for Wano Country. However, Wano Country arc is not the only arc with the over-the-top insane animation. Enter in Egghead Island. Number 5. This could be premature, but number 5. Gulp! 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 Chujo. Episode 1114, Garp Galaxy Impact versus the group of pirates in the plaza, animated by Shota Shigetsuru, Tomioka Takahashi, Vincent Chansard, and Chris, aka Yen BM. Like I said in that video, bro. The 2 things that really got me going the most. Number 1, the Garp walk-up. The walk-up was ridiculous, man. Him walking big, you see the hockey all around Garp, the shades of black and orange and yellow, Garp looking like, I mean, how Luffy doesn't have this build when Luffy is this guy's literal grandson is weird to me. I don't understand. But maybe in the future one day he'll be walking tall like that, looking like 8 feet, maybe actually 8 feet, 9 feet tall, unironically. Walking tall, looking big, looking insane. The style points are just going off the charts. That was the first thing. I love that walk up. The second thing I love the most in that scene, obviously, I am a space I love the stars and the galaxies and the nebulas and the cosm. And man, when Garp becomes that red star and behind him, you see all the crazy effects of the galaxies and so on. You had me. It was easy. It was light work, man. Goddamn. To me, those 2 things are kind of like seal the deal as to why the attack itself is so damn epic. It's the lead up, it's the actual effects before the attack too. I think it's amazing. The effects themselves, when he actually drops down the family atomic, and then we see this whole area get wastelanded, and the buildings are melting from the sheer force of the attack. And then after it's all said and done, Garp arms folded, just diving. Oh, that was magnificent. So Garp's Galaxy Impact, I think, is absolutely worth it for a top 10, top 5 position. Even though some folks may argue, okay, we're not following Oda's vision here, obviously, because it's very different than, let's say, the chapter version, which it is. I won't deny that. They look like very different attacks. But at the same time, it's epic as oil. That's undeniable. People come for a good show. And that's a good show right there. And what is arguably one of the best of all time shows, moments in One Piece history, was delivered to us in episode 1062. Woo! We know, because people started yapping about a man with the V. The man with the V. Not Voltron. No. King the Wildfire Flaming Rings, the Imperial Dragon Wings, versus Zoro and Zoro's Charge. We're talking about Vincent Chansard. Also the assistance of Luana Guen. I'm assuming the N is silent there. So Guyen, I think. When it comes to pronouncing names, I'm not showing that stuff. But the rings that King does are like, wait, whoa, okay, this is not in the manga at all. And King is going hard. You have the crazy flapping the star behind him. Then he fires off a Kamehameha flaming magma wave that goes blue before it actually fires off. And then you see the dragons like spread apart, and then Zoro's going in there hard. So like the whole thing is amazing. But the key thing here is the lead up. The lead up to the Imperial Flaming Wings, dude. Yo. Man.
Say the word you want to say.
It's the impact frames. It's the impact frames. In like the span of a minute 30 seconds, we got like so many impact frames across the spectrum. When King starts to power for the first time, before it goes into the air, we have impact frames. Then Zoro sees King, and then Zoro starts going hard, and then we see his impact frames. And like one of those frames, it's the crazy Ashura Buddha thing. What? And then King fires the attack. We see like King's whole life in those impact frames, like his childhood. Then before the actual column disperses, we see like a Hawk talent. It's like, wait, bro.
Holy Jesus.
Slow down, man, damn.
No.
And I actually remember watching the episode, pausing it repeatedly, like in frame by frame by frame by frame by frame. It was like going treasure hunting, just seeing what sort of images were put in like these half-second, microsecond intervals. It was ridiculous. And then even, let's say, outside of the impact frames, you have, let's say, a shot of Zoro looking at this crazy ring raid boss that King is creating. Even, let's say, that shot of Zoro looking up while the main mountain head of Onigashima is behind him. Like, these shots are, they're magnifique. They're magnifique. Zoro looks epic as all hell, same for King. And what also is happening in the process too, that you may not have actually caught on. Keep in mind that when they're fighting on only the right side of the island. But because of how it's animated, it feels like the entire area, in terms of scale, has expanded tremendously. Like it almost feels like it's a 20-mile playing ground between Zoro and King the Wildfire, even though it's only just on the right side of the island. Not the entire island, but the right side of the island. So it's incredible. King of Wildfire's rings, Zoro squaring up, Zoro charging with the green. Incredible. Absolutely phenomenal. But here comes my top three. And my number three. Oh, spare me. It's too much. I could be semi-cheating here, but I don't really care. Because all it really is Monkey D. Luffy. It's Monkey D. Luffy going balls to the wall with lightning. Episode 1074, Gum Gum Lightning plus Luffy Inverted Sky. Oh, wow. Luffy Inverted Sky grabbing a lightning horde while fighting against Kaido. Shu Sugita for the first section, and the second section was Sota Shigetsu. The lighting and the area effects and the aura in that first sequence were all off the charts. Just Luffy with that big ass bolt that goes across the screen, and then Kaido with the wave effects, and you have the music. Dun, 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 dun. It was over. It was over. It was like, no, this is what this is I think initiating one of the best fight sequences of all time. I'm gonna say it again. That first initial phase is ushering in the beginning of one of the best animated fight sequences of actual all time, like planet Earth all time. Yes, all time. The lighting was amazing. The arena effects, the aura effects were just off the charts. Luffy throws the bolt. I'm sweating thinking about this, bro. Kaido sees the future in the exact same way Katakuri did in episode 870, right before Katakuri became the donut. And Kaido avoids the lightning bolt. He thinks he's clean. Here's 6 more right around you. And then Luffy proceeds to bounce off of the lightning bolts, making some sort of crazy pattern. Maybe some conspiracy theorists out there will see a pentagram in there. I have no idea. But the reality of it is that it's unbelievably epic. And then as Luffy continues to like ricochet off these bolts, the bolts get bigger and bigger, so they become more multicolored, and then they collide. It's this scene, and then in tandem with a similar lightning Luffy scene when he grabs a horde and goes inverted sky. And then he brings these spaghetti strings of lightning bolts with him down towards Kaido. This right here, I think, really opened the door of what Luffy could do in the anime, well beyond what the manga can show for Luffy, but it all fits very neatly in the paradigm of the craziest, zaniest, wonkiest ability in the verse. And mind you, those impact frames, when he grabs the lightning horde in the cloud, and then you see the old school Gear 2 manga panel, it's just too much. It's too much, and it's so much that to this day, I will rewatch that scene. Like the whole fight, the whole sequence, time and time and time again. I will rewatch that because that could honestly be one of the, if not the magnum opus of fights for One Piece. Who knows? We'll have to see what happens in the future. All right, only time can tell. But that's gonna be an extraordinarily hard bar to pass. It is. Man.
Not yet.
But I'm not done yet, because that's number 3. Number two. Before we get to the Garp Galaxy Impact, we must first walk the road of the red-haired wonder that is episode 1112 of One Piece. Shanks' divine departure on Eustace Captain Kidd, animated by Tu Young-se. I can't even begin, bro.
Down to the last minute detail.
It's what I wanted.
It was perfect.
It's what I wanted. For the most part, it does stay true to the story, so most cats can't complain about that. But it also harkens back to Film Red stuff, which I like from Red a lot. It is the one-shot of one-shots. You have that incredible run-up when Shanks is running on the boats. Even beforehand, he does the Superman leap right over Ben Beckman. He does that Superman, whoof, and then he's beelining right to Kid as he just runs across these ships. Even like that one moment of when he grabs a rope, does the old school, maybe not, but we have the Tarzan sort of thing going on, which is dope to see. And I remember being told that at that point in time, someone tried to emulate the Ota style. So again, once again, Akihiro Ota style kind of propping him in many ways. Even other cats trying to do his style, and it works. It works really well because the last scene with Kid's damn punk, that was all Ota and Shanks seeing the future of what would have happened. So from section to section, the animation styles mesh very well. And then we have the Griffin. And then we have the Griffin. The Griffin doesn't change anything per se for the attack itself, but it is outstanding style points, particularly if you're a Film Red fan like I am. Because in Film Red, the final attack against Top Musica is also Shanks using some sort of Griffin Hawk thing in combination with Luffy's Lion thing, and they conjoin together to take out Top Musica. And the same person that animated that scene, Tu Young-se, in the movie, is also the same one that did this scene with Shanks when he takes out Kid. And when he does reach Kid, that divine departure is outstanding. The slow motion, the camera shots, the scene ocean, you get that interior of Kid's damn punk, the mechanics being cut. You have the hockey where Kid's crew gets knocked out before the attack is falling through. Killer's Punisher blades. The thing that he told Zoro in the rooftop, if I had these, I wouldn't have lost you when I was Kamazo. I don't believe that. But nonetheless, his Punisher blades shatter at the sheer will of Shanks' hockey. And then we see the purple lightning of Kid actually trigger a chain explosion with Kid's ammo and cannonballs in the background. Huge explosion, but then Shanks ain't done yet. That follow through, and then we have the impact frame of Kid's Jolly Roger being cut in half by Shanks' divine departure. Woo! Come get some. That's It's incredible. That sword angle shot of the follow through when Kid's more in the background, that is poster worthy. Kid being sent packed, and then his vision starts to fade. We see Shanks sheath his sword, sheath the griffin, and then, bro, no one told me we were gonna do a Jujutsu Kaisen special with Eustace Captain Kidd done by Masaya Hasegawa. I mean, this was ridiculous. Kid is on the verge of death, and we had a Jogo moment for Kid. If Shanks pulled up out of nowhere in the corner, stand proud, Kid. You're strong. Oh man, hey baby, hey baby, hey baby. That would have been too much. That would have been number one instantly. To me, this was legendary. This was a legendary moment, and the style points were just off the charts. The camera work, the aura work, as clear as crystal. The intensity of the follow up, where he's just walking tall. Oh, it's disgusting, bro. It's not necessarily blinding and over the top, but it's clean. It's extremely clean. This is number two. Before we get to the number one, the numero uno, I do want to give a few honorable mentions to some scenes I also really liked a lot. So honorable mentions go to Luffy's Red Rock on Kaido. We have Luffy blitzing Rob Lucci. We have Zoro's Flying Dragon Blaze and Zoro's Dragon Damnation. We have Robin's Demonio Fleur Crutch. Low key, this one's a great scene right here. Kawamatsu's first River of Retribution. Big Mom's 3,000 Leagues of Mother Misery. Sanji's Osoba Mask kick on page 1. Roger versus Whitebeard clash. This one I was too sure because it was like a clash rather than an actual attack per se, but whatever. And then finally, Law's Puncture Willie. I'll put an etc on that too because there's so many more attacks. There's like even low-key moves like Brook when he frees over the entire area when he helps out Robin. So like there are some, again, really animated scenes, but those are some honorable mentions. And the number one scene, ushered in by Vincent Chansard and Su Sugita. It is what it is, man. It is what it is. Episode 1074. Kaido's Death Destroyer Thunder Bagua. Right, Toku! Oh my god. I just, when I say I watched that whole scene, I really meant what I said. I watched that whole scene. I watch it repeatedly. Sometimes I have free time, I watch it again. I'm not lying to you. That scene has magic in it that a lot of folks just can't perceive. I'm talking about Kaido talking about how hockey can transcend all things using Goldie Roger as an example. Imagine how high Goldie Roger's hockey must have been. Only like 4 or 5 characters will ever be on that level of hockey. We're talking about Goldie Roger, Luffy, Shanks, Joyboy, like Roxy Sebek. Like we're talking about like a scant few of just transcending all things, right? He is giving Luffy the smackdown. And seeing that sort of aura dragon inside of Luffy's eye was crazy. Luffy being bounced around the lightning that he turned to rubber. Do you guys know that in the middle of that, after Luffy gets sent catapulting up, after the ground turned to a trampoline when Kaido hit him into the ground, and then Luffy has that star pattern in his face, like, oh. Do you realize that Kaido skywalked? I cursed. Make sure to bleep that out. No double take. Jafar, bleep it out. Kaido skywalks. He just kicks the air, and he starts to dive bomb right towards Luffy, and he starts to power up, because only Haki. And when he says that, and you have that purple lens flare for Kaido, notice how the bolts of lightning that are being sustained by Luffy's ability start to disperse. Why? Because Kaido is exuding enough Haki to negate the ability of Luffy. The effects and the energy are off the charts. And then we have the purple lightning bolts, the step ladders on Luffy's body, as he's like free falling in midair, turning around to see Kaido right in his face. Huge, right, Toku? And then you see the purple bolts. Luffy has to guard for the first time, genuinely in Gear 5 with Haki. Raime Hake. That zooming out from Kaido's face and his eye as he's swinging towards Luffy's guard? Oh God. The purple lightning effects, the shockwave. And what I love tremendously is the end of it, where at the end of it, they don't play the music. They leave the silence and just the boom of the shockwave. They let it play out. And it plays out even into the halfway point eye catcher of the episode.
I think what makes cinema to me, I think ultimately it's something that for some reason stays with you, so that a few years later you could watch it again, or 10 years later you watch it again and it's different. In other words, there's more to learn about yourself or about life.
It is, unironically, my favorite attack I have seen in the last 5 years of One Piece. It's phenomenal. And so just how Luffy's Gum Gum Lightning Ball was the beginning of one of the best fight sequences of all of anime. Kaido is the closer. Kaido is the anchor. He's what brings it home across the finish line for the gold medal. Nothing like it. Nothing like it, bro. I don't know if there's ever going to be a fight in the future of One Piece that's going to surpass that. That right there is better than the vast majority of fights I've ever seen. And I watched Fate Stay Night. I've seen Fate Stay Night, Unlimited Blade Works. I've seen Fate Stay Night, the movie trilogy. I've seen Demon Slayer stuff. But the creativity of what happened with Luffy's powers in combination with the subtlety of what Kaido is doing that harkens back to old and new elements of One Piece fighting. And that final attack, in terms of style points, audio, visual, timing, lighting, 10 out of 10, it's perfect. Yeah. If you disagree, you disagree. But I think that right there, these guys that created this scene, Vincent Chansard and Sue Sugita, and then the entire fight sequence, including Keisuke Okura, and then Shota Shigetsugu, and Chris Yenbiem, and Yu Yoshiyama, they made animation history. They made magic. They made magic, man. On that note, let me know your top 10 favorite scenes of One Piece in the comment section down below. And if you enjoy my video content, then of course hit your boy with a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, click on that bell to join the notification squad, and make sure to do that same thing on your phone app for YouTube. That's right, make sure to turn on notifications for subscribers on your phone app. So, lads and ladies, I'm gonna catch you guys and gals on the flip side.
See you. Bye-bye.